comics, labor costs. They're still pasting type on their master pages with hot wax.
You're crazy. You know, I'm going back to my office at Apple.
Steve drives like a madman back to Cupertino. But the sign that greets him there doesn't say welcome to Apple. It says, welcome to Microsoft South.
I'm sorry, Steve. Apple went out of business in 1985. You see, you really did have a wonderful company. See what a mistake it was to wish it away?
Well, okay, then I'll just go to my office at Pixar.
You don't have an office at Pixar, Steve. There was no Mac to make you rich enough to buy Pixar.
Music, wind, heavenly voices, and then snow begins softly falling. A helicopter passes overhead.
Yeah, really.
Hey! Larry Ellison! Steve, you all right? Wow! Look! It's all back! My Newton! My tattoo! Merry Christmas, Larry! Merry Christmas, Internet! Merry Christmas, wonderful old Microsoft!
Steve, darling! You won't believe it. Remember your idea to sell the sleekest, best designed products on the market? The iMac, the iPad, the iPhone? People have been standing in line for days just to buy them up. They don't ask any questions. They just say, count me in. You've really never seen anything like it.
And now, his office is filled with smiling people whose lives the Mac has touched. There's old Mr. Chiat Day, the ad man. There's Yanni, the musician. And there's Mr. Spielberg, movie maker. As the Apple board starts singing Auld Lang Syne, somebody boots up a Power Mac.
Right arrow. Hit the right arrow.
Sir, you know what they say. Every time you hear a startup chime, an angel just got his place.
Here, have a seat. As long as you're here, I get an interview out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, auto-tune the news. You had a little trouble with the startup chime for your last line.
But you know what? The timing was just delicious.
So I can't believe this. What the hell are you doing here? And now to tell the folks what you were paid to do this.
Nothing.
That's right. Is he the best sport in Hollywood? So I have a million questions. I've been a fan forever, both of the show and of you. And the first thing I got to know is, I mean, when you're in a place like this, or when you're anywhere in public, is your life not a living hell from people going, you know, in episode 28, it says 4.7 trisecs, but that was the parsec. I mean,
Yeah.
Harvard, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I'll tell you honestly, David, I'm a Star Trek fan. I really am. I read a lot of science fiction books when I was a kid, and it was rare for me to find in the pages of those novels heroes who looked like me. So Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future was, you know, really important. It said to me, when the future comes, there's a place for you. And so I to have grown up and become a part of that mythos is beyond the beyond. So I'm happy to talk about Star Trek, even though I'm not actually an engineer.
And so, but it doesn't, I mean, you're out at dinner, you're trying to have dinner with your wife and your daughter, and people don't come over and say, hey, could you sign my breast? And, you know,
I've signed a breast or two in my time, but rarely at dinner. My wife tends to frown on that kind of activity.
unless it's hers.
Doesn't go over well when I get home.
Well, it's an incredibly gracious thing. Now, LeVar and I actually did not just stumble onto each other right now. We actually had dinner last night. And
well, I've been a fanboy of yours, Pogue, for a long time.
Oh, dude, I'm not worthy at all.
Yes, you are.
When I met, I was shooting a PBS Nova miniseries, and we were shooting at CES. It's about materials science. It's going to air this fall, but so to test the material of a plasma TV, we were at the Panasonic booth trying to break the screen. The Panasonic people gave me the remote and said, throw it as hard as you can, as many times as you can. And I could not break the screen. So a crowd had gathered, and my producer's like, cut, 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 cut. Burton's here. I'm like, what? You're kidding? And I'm like, can I stop and go? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So I came over and I'm about to say, I can't believe I get to meet you. When he goes, I can't believe I get to meet you. It's like, we got our lines backwards, buddy.
No. You are the man, and everybody in this room knows it. I mean, you're the man because, you know, Steve's not here.
That second line wasn't in the script. So it truly doesn't buy. And what about the visor? The mythology is that you wore that visor in the series. Was it 7 years you did the series?
7 years and 4 motion pictures.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you hated that visor, right?
With a passion.
What? Why did you hate that visor?
For a couple of reasons. One, I couldn't see with it on. And 2, because we screwed it into my head. We literally screwed I wish I had brought it to show you. People don't believe me when I say this, but because of the lights on a television set, we never wanted to see my brown eyes, because when Jordy takes the visor off, his eyes are white. And so the seal had to be as good as it possibly could. And what we did was, in addition to double-faced tape in the bridge, we literally screwed the visor in. There were flanges that were affected by keys that were held in the visor box. And I would screw the visor in, and take the little orange, what we call blinkies, the little orange magnetic dots, and put them on. And after about 20, 25 minutes, invariably I'd get a headache. So, so in addition to bumping into everything on the set in the first season, it was really a pain in the ass and a pain in the head. So I was a big advocate of losing the visor once we got to the feature.
Now later you did, like
we did.
Some of the movies, and was that because you hated it so much?
It was, and because I guess the producers felt that, you know, we could begin to loosen the restrictions. They always felt that the visor was one of the ways that we communicated to the audience the technological sophistication of the 24th century, and so it was iconic in that sense, but they didn't have to wear it.
I heard that the original visor was made from a Honda air filter.
Well, that's a rumor. I can share with you that the visor was modeled on a women's hair retention device. The banana clip was the inspiration for the original design.
Oh my gosh. And speaking of inspiration, do you know the inspiration of your character's name, Jordy LaForge?
Jordy was named after an Uber fan who suffered from cerebral palsy. He was a young kid that Gene met on the convention circuit. His name was Jordan LaForge. And when Gene created the character who was originally the pilot navigator on the Enterprise, he named the character after this fan who died right around the time that Next Gen was being created.
Wow, that's a great tribute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I have to say, in all of our dinner last night, we talked about Roots, we talked about Reading Rainbow, and apparently a lot of people who come up to you on the street want to talk about Reading Rainbow.
Absolutely. Any Reading Rainbow fans in the house?
And I just want to tell you guys, not one time in that conversation, we talked about the big arc of your career, not one time did you ever